The intensity and frequency of riots eased over the past couple of days, and businesses and residents are in the throes of repairing the damage and property and clearing the debris that has resulted from days of looting, arson and vandalism in KwaZulu-Natal and parts of Gauteng. According to the Consumer Goods Council of South Africa, the biggest impact was not only the damage and destruction of retail premises and distribution centers, but also the distribution to food security in the country in various supply chain issues. For more, we are joined by Matlou Setati, who is an executive for food safety at the Consumer Goods Council of South Africa. Matlou, thank you so much for your time. Let's talk about the ongoing efforts right now. I mean, how satisfied are you with what has been going on in KZN and Gauteng to repair that damage?
Thank you so much. And indeed, the disruptions have had an impact on the food security and mainly on the supply in terms of getting products from Gauteng or other various parts of the country to KZN, because if the safety and security of the transportation, the logistics is not secured, then that brings up a challenge. But we are satisfied that the N3 has since been opened, even though yesterday the burning and looting of one facility, which was a huge concern, and also took us back to where we started in terms of the security measures that are on the ground needs to be enhanced so that all of these ad hoc cases can be avoided in totality. So we have seen a number of manufacturers that have come through and also retailers in terms of ensuring that the supply is maintained. We have seen a number of trucks that have traveled through to KZN to ensure that supply is given to the people at large. And we did take cognizance of the impact that this might have had on the NGOs and the people that are currently in NGOs that are being fed through either the food banks or the local NGOs. So members have really come through in their numbers to ensure that the supply is geared towards such donations and proceeds so that they are also catered for.
So the one thing we have seen over the past couple of days is that a number of the retailers have been giving us stock and update in terms of the impact of the looting and the riots on their own facilities. From your perspective, what does this do for investor confidence, especially over the past few weeks when we get those consumer and business confidence coming up in the next couple of months or so? Are you expecting some kind of dent there?
Well, there will be a dent, but the comfort that we have as a sector association is that we've got a very resilient and capable supply chain. So with all the forces that are on the ground, the communication that is currently happening, we have seen people pull through as we are doing the facilitation throughout. People are on the ground in terms of either providing the necessary raw materials. That level of communication is quite amazing. And it is coming also from the side of government as well. We're working together just to ensure that whoever that needs the supply, the support in terms of ensuring that their supply is in place, we come in to ensure that government, either if they need to unlock any other issue, it is done in accordance with that, or there's that collaborative spirit that is currently happening. If there is no supply, either on medical supplies, on food, we reach out to the various chambers of businesses to ensure that that is taken care of. So there is, we are quite comfortable in terms of the resilience that the supply chain is in South Africa, and we shouldn't have any challenges in terms of maintaining the supply to the most vulnerable.
On that note then, do you have any concerns at present, be it the safety of some of your members when it comes to their retail and their premises at this point?
Well, we can't rule out any danger as yet until the security forces as government inform us that we are out of the woods. Currently, we are treading carefully. We are working closely with law enforcement through our consumer risk initiative of the CGCSA to ensure that any other impact that can be leveled against them, the infrastructure of the businesses, we have to be at the forefront to make sure that those are catered for, and also they are highly protected Because as you can imagine, if we have to open makeshift facilities over and above the damage that has been incurred, we need the support from law enforcement to ensure that that is done. And we have seen amazing work coming from the members, that we are on the ground helping either the soldiers or the police or people at the malls to ensure that they are also fed, because we should not forget about the food security that they might be facing working across the night and during the day. But we will constantly work with the departments and the security detail to say, give the necessary support in terms of security, ensuring that people are safe in as much as we are doing the work that we are supposed to be doing.
Generally, in moments of crises, we saw it last year when the COVID-19 pandemic struck and many parts of the country had to go into lockdown. A lot of the consumers were panic buying. But at this particular case, as we get those supply situations fixed and the supply chain back to normal, we might see cases of stockpiling for areas where retailers haven't been able to get back on stream. How do we deal with those who are stockpiling? Because at the end, it's the vulnerable and the poor who miss out because everybody's bought pretty much everything.
Indeed, you make a great point there in terms of we need to share as we are busy stabilizing the supply, and we just need to work together and put back that spirit of Ubuntu to say, let's share in the supply that we currently have in our stores. There is no need really to panic buy, because as we say, we do have a resilient supply chain, which will make sure with all the challenges that we are currently dealing with, the supply will get to the people. And there is no need to panic buy. We are comfortable that we will get the supply once everything reaches a comfortable point in terms of security.
All right, thank you so much for your time. That is Matlou, who is from the Consumer Goods Council of South Africa, giving us an update on what is happening with the supply chain, but also reinforcing that message that there is no need to stockpile as we are trying to get those supply chains back to normal.